Everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. You practice that well. My name is Melvin Hubbard, and I'm the Senior Community Advisor here at Gainey. It's a pleasure to have you here today to uplift social work month. And as I said previously, that I celebrate the remarkable efforts that you do every day. Every day. And not only every day, but every day of the year. And what it does for you in terms of your own self-care. It can beat you down. But you have that resiliency in you. You come back and continue to do the work that you do for the uplift for all of our people in the community. And it's my pleasure at this time to bring to you our honorable guest, Ed Gainey. Woo!
Good afternoon. It is good to see everybody. Before I begin, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate all the work that you do, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But since I got my directors and lieutenants here, they got to come speak, right? They can't be here. So we're going to start with my lieutenant, Lisa Frank. Come on over and say hello, a couple words. Huh?
Already. I think I started about 2 years ago now, and to me, the whole project of the Office of Community Health and Safety and the larger project of having social workers be part of the care teams and the trauma reduction teams and all the work that we do is pretty new to me. And so I've had the pleasure and I mean, it's just been awesome to learn from you all, the ones that I've learned from, to watch from afar, the folks that I don't work from every day, to understand what your training delivers to you, to understand the questions that you ask that I wouldn't have asked in 1,000 years, to see the hours that you put in and the patience that you have, and to see that it does, that you carry it, right? That it's hard. I mean, was in a meeting with Saskia, who helped when one of our employees in another department had committed suicide, and the thoughtfulness and the listening and the work that she did with that person's colleagues was just, it was awesome to watch. So like the mayor, I thank you so much. I could not do what you do. I admire what you do. And it's so good to see this room full of people who do what you do. So thank you. Yep.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
So when I started as public safety director, when I met with the mayor before I was public safety director, the big thing we talked about was public safety needs to become proactive instead of reactive. And one of the ways we do that is through prevention and through engagement. So our social work team and what I've learned about other social workers that aren't just with OCHS, but you're able to engage with people on a different level and in a different way to prevent us from having to respond as traditional public safety, but as a service provider that is here to help people, not just people that are in crisis, but the people around them. And when there is a crisis, even just a violent crisis that happens in our city, we have social work teams that go out into the community that help provide trauma support. When we have instances of death by suicide and other traumatic events that happen to people, drug overdose, deaths from drug overdose, but there's family members involved that we can go and we use our social work team, and they work with other social workers throughout the city to provide help to those in need. And it's great to see us getting engaged early before the crisis happens through the social work teams, not just with the city, but throughout the city. So we appreciate all the great work you do. I see it every day when I'm out, whenever we deal with all the crises we have throughout the city. I hear from Camila, our assistant director, who's about to come up next, every day about all the great work that's being done, not just with our team, but with all the folks they collaborate with around social work and social services. So I just want to thank you all and acknowledge the great work you do. And I encourage everyone to learn the difference between a social worker and a community health worker and all the other titles of folks that are out there, that not everything is a social work need, but we have to learn all those preventative folks that are out there, what the differences are. So I appreciate the great work you do. And at this time, I'm going to bring up My assistant director of public safety that oversees the Office of Community Health and Safety, Camila Howard.
Yeah.
Thank you, Director. I was so excited when Mayor Gainey reached out and told me about this proclamation. A lot of the work that you all do, and specifically, I've worked with a lot of you in OCHS, can be invisible to a lot, but it's so important to so many more. So I know that a lot of you don't like these types of situations because you do the work because you're passionate about it, but I'm so excited that we can celebrate your work. I've had the honor and pleasure of working with so many wonderful social workers at the Office of Community Health and Safety, and they've taught me so much about compassion, giving people their dignity back, learning to meet people where they're at, and putting judgment aside for what the people need. So you have made me a better leader. And for that, I'm incredibly grateful. I've seen you work with the most vulnerable, marginalized residents of our city. You put them first every day through our trauma response, through our co-response, and through our people in need of support. But you are supporting everybody in the office, and sometimes I feel that we need to support you more and provide those self-care and boundaries and make sure that you all are fulfilled. I'm honored to know you all and work beside you, and this is an amazing field of work that we need to continue to elevate. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. It's the best thing I can say because at the end of the day, this is the reality. Without social workers, we couldn't do the work that we do. I mean, I don't even know how many stories you take home, but I know some of y'all don't have chapters, you got books. And I tell people it's by grace and mercy that we have social workers that can go out there and really make a difference in somebody's life. Because there's a certain type of love that you pour into people. There's a certain type of love. You couldn't do this if you didn't have no love. I'm gonna be honest. And just to see how many people get help through social workers has always been a blessing for me to see. And sometimes, when I was sharing this with Chief Wheatley, that there's sometimes where this job will drive you crazy, you know? But I always think back to people that's out there helping them every single day. People like you that's out there saying, hey, I'm giving you a helping hand, even though I'm being pushed to the finish. And always ready to serve. And I tell my team all the time, there's a difference between serving people and catering to people. Catering to people means that I'm gonna do it because I want to please you, not because it helps you. Serving people means I'm gonna give you that dish that at the end of the day is going to empower you. I always tell people I don't need sympathy and empathy, I need tools of empowerment to see me grow. And so at the end of the day, it's always been a pleasure of mine to say, listen, what are we doing to help people grow? You know, best compliment I can give you is what I've told other people, and Doc, you gotta come up. So I'm sorry with you. I see resurrections every day. Because there's a lot of times that you're talking to people that have no hope, no belief, no nothing. They walking, but the spirit is gone. And then all of a sudden you touch them and you can see their eyes open back up. And you can see at the end of the day that they start believing, even if it's just for that hour. That's not empathy or sympathy, that's an empowerment tool. An empowerment tool called love. One that demonstrates that you don't support what you do. You're committed to what you do. And I like that because that's the beginning of a spirit that says, go get it. And I'm for that all day long. Doc, come on up.
Right, well, I want to thank Mayor Gainey and the mayor's office for the honor and privilege of having our team from University of Pittsburgh School of Social Work, Center on Race and Social Problems, with our director, Dr. Kaya Connor, was here as well, and many of our students and other social workers throughout the city doing this great work. You know, I have to admit, I came to social work. I'm an adopted social worker. I came out of education. And when I was looking for a grad program, looking for a city, Pittsburgh fit the bill, and the School of Social Work was doing the work in the community. on the bottom floor with the people. And I loved it, and it did the work that I wanted to do, and it's made a huge difference in my own life, and I've seen our amazing students and faculty do that work every day. It's been wonderful collaborating with the city on so many initiatives. We have the Justice Room Project working in 10 schools right now. Doing violence reductions and exclusionary discipline reduction and increasing academic achievement and reducing racial disparities. And many sort of work in health and human services. So it's an honor to be here to honor social workers everywhere within our team and beyond, and do that work in this great city. So thank you.
So they said someone here succeeded the legend of me, Dr. Larry Davis. I'm gonna get up there.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Gainey and your team for doing this. I have known I wanted to be a social worker all my life, even though I didn't really know what the word social work meant. I just knew that I wanted to make a difference. I wanted to make a difference in the lives of individuals, families, communities. And in particular, I wanted to address the inequities that I was seeing in underrepresented communities, Black and brown communities, queer communities. I wanted to be a voice for those who didn't have one. I didn't know that that's what social work was until I got to college and realized that this is what we live, this is what we eat, this is what we do every single day. Social work is not just a noun, it's a verb, it's action, right? There are many fields that care about mental health and communities because they want to learn, they want to understand. Social workers want to do. And we spend our time in action, in advocacy, in being the voice for those who might not have one or might not have a seat at the table. And sometimes that work is invisible. But today, you're helping to make that work visible by having an event like this, by signing a proclamation like this, to really recognize the valuable contribution that social workers are making in every single field. Because what we do is multifaceted. There are social workers working in every clinic, agency, social service organization, hospital. We're everywhere. And that's important because that's what we're trained to do. And I'm so excited to be here with you today and to continue to encourage more of us to come into the social work field so that we can continue to make this impactful work around the country, but in particular here in Pittsburgh. So thank you so much.
So now I got two from the audience. Who will come up? Who gonna be the first? Now, if y'all don't come up, I will just pick you. So I'll just we got a choice now. Who's gonna speak? Going once, and I start picking. 2, 3.
I got him. I could not come here and like rep, you know. My name is Priscilius Contreras Onesqua. You know, I'm a advanced standing MSW student at the University of Pittsburgh. And so when I came into undergrad, you know, as a first generation student, I didn't know nothing about college. I just know I want to make my family proud. And, you know, I feel like for a lot of us, we don't really understand what social work is until we're a little bit older. And that's coming from somebody who, you know, I worked with a social worker when I was younger. Didn't really fully quite understand the impact being so young and you know. And so to be where I'm at now and to have learned things that I've learned and worked with the people I've worked with, right? It's so empowering to know that, yes, we live in a world that there's so much injustice, there's so much going on, there's so much pain, but we can provide people hope, we can have hope for ourselves, we can make the resources, we can do the work, there's no excuses. And that's the most important part, is to have hope and to care about people and to be genuine in the work and to practice the self-care. Even, you know, we talk a lot about social workers that have been in the field for a long time, but you know, even being a student nowadays, you're going through these unpaid internships and, you know, and so there's so many different multifaceted levels of this work. And so I just encourage anyone to do the research, you know, it's social work month, like, let's turn up, you know. No, like, for real, at the end of the day, there's a lot going on in this world. And it's really important to think about things like intersectionality, think about equity, really amp up the voices, the people that are doing the work, people of color, queer folks, anybody in the LGBTQ plus community, for those who have disabilities and stuff, right? Like, it's important to advocate for everybody, include everybody in the conversation, not just include, but have them be at the table running the conversation. So thank you, Mayor. Again, I appreciate you, Mayor.
We got one more. Huh? Okay, all right. I was getting ready to call you, so you know, you must have been reading my mind, huh?
Hi, everyone. My name is Saskia Bolger. I'm the Victim Assistance and Trauma Coordinator and the Acting Social Work Manager for the Office of Community Health and Safety. One of the values of social work is believing in the inherent dignity and worth of every person that you work with. And that's something that I'm really proud that our team of social workers really follows every day with every single client that they interact with. We work alongside first responders. We're working with people that have kind of fallen through the cracks sometimes. There's been, gaps in the system where first responders have been responding to folks and not able to help with their social service needs. And it's really exciting to be able to have social workers fill that gap and really follow that value of, valuing each person that they work with and trying to figure out what they need individually. So whether it's, somebody that's had 911 called for a mental health crisis, or somebody that's calling 911 very frequently for complex medical needs, or a family that's grieving after losing someone to suicide or overdose, our social workers treat that person as an individual and are really caring and compassionate. And I'm really, really proud to be part of this team and part of the team social workers that we have. So thank you all.
The reason why I asked everybody to come up is because it's easy for me to come up and just read a proclamation. But it's not that you're just talking to people in this room, you're talking to people on social media. And the best people to get that testimony is people that do the work every day. So it's not that you just spoke in this room, it's that you spoke to social media to let them know why this work is so important. And whereas the city of Pittsburgh acknowledges the commitment and resilience of social workers who often work in challenging and demanding environments, demonstrating unwavering dedication to improving the lives of others. And whereas Social Work Month is an annual observance held in March to recognize and honor the invaluable contributions made by social workers worldwide, and where social workers are a catalyst for positive change, bringing gaps in access to resources, promoting inclusivity, and fostering a sense of belonging within our diverse community. And whereas housed within the Department of Public Works, the Office of Community Health and Safety was established to address Pittsburgh's long-standing health, safety, and justice challenges. The office is tasked with redirecting city resources to better address community needs by housing social workers, public health workers, and social work experts who can assist community members and first responders in situations that require long-term support, harm reduction approaches, and other services. Public safety agencies serve to make sure that individuals with complex health and social needs have a place to go, give direction, and offer the type of connection that helps to save their lives. And in that, today, I want to honor the social workers that's in this room. And in my gratitude, say thank you for all that you've done to help make this city a safe, more welcoming, and thriving place. God bless you.
We, as Chief Frank mentioned, have a cure for unpaid internships. Our office does have openings currently, so if you go to the NeoGovs, you can find our positions. We have some bachelor level social workers that will work directly with fire and EMS, providing support to people in need. We're also hiring for a social work manager. And as we continue to expand our co-response program, we definitely would need more master level social workers, and we're always open for interns. We actually do pay our interns.
We get paid and everything.
Yeah.
I know, listen, I know y'all wanna come work for the city now, right? I know y'all do, huh? I mean,
You
think
have the
about,
most competitive rate.
yeah, and not only that, we get to change the city. I mean, that's what it's really all about. We get to change the city. So I tell people all the time that the pleasure for me to come to work every day is that we get to have an opportunity to fight powerful entities that have never appreciated the people like they should in this region. And in that, it gives us the ability all the time to put our best foot forward. We call ourselves the misfits. Come on and join the misfits in the 5th floor. I mean, y'all be on the 4th floor, but at least. Come on and join the misfits in the 5th floor. One thing I can tell you, when we're done, the city will be different than it is today. We already started down that journey. So I'm encouraging you, come on. The more we have, the better we are. I want to say thank you. Now I'm going to turn it over to Audrey out the way. Correct?
Yes.
I'll go.
Okay.